It was day after draining day of betrayal, constantly having to look over my shoulder, fighting to meet unrealistic expectations. I was starting to lose sight of who I was as a person. I couldn't let anyone see me looking weak. They would see it as an opportunity to take advantage of me, to manipulate me, to eliminate me. I needed power to protect myself from these people. Attaining rank was only the first step. I needed even more power, enough to ensure no one would ever be giving me orders, could ever play me for a fool. I turned my attention first to bolstering the economy. I provided subsidies to merchants in the city. I expanded trade routes. I made it known that people of any skin color, even those not welcome in other territories, were welcome in my land, trying to bring some vitality to the city. The previous lord had evidently loved to throw parties, squandering away nearly all the tax money on his own entertainment. If he had left me more to work with, I would have used it to clean up and repair the slums. But for the time being, that had to remain another item on the checklist. I needed more money flowing through the city as a whole before I could make any headway on fixing up the poorer areas. Helping the people who needed it most quickly became a secondary objective. I had a pretty good idea what my former accomplices in the slums were saying about me. He used us. I could practically hear them whispering. Some of them even started publicly slandering me in an attempt to undermine my authority, claiming I wasn't suited to be in a position of power because I had spent most of my life in the slums. It wasn't long before they had convinced the people I was just another tyrant. I had hoped that they, if no one else, would have sympathized with my position, realized that I had every intention of helping them, and that I simply didn't have the resources for it yet. But no one saw what I was doing. No one believed me, even when I tried to explain. In one case, I invited an old companion to my manor to discuss matters, but the meeting only turned into an attempt on my life. Having absolutely no one I could trust, no one I could call an ally, hit me a lot harder than I had expected. It twisted my worldview beyond recognition. I had no need for sympathy. I couldn't show care for anyone, otherwise someone would inevitably use it against me, old friends and strangers alike. In fact, those who knew me best, those who were aware of where I had come from and what I had been before, were the ones who fought the hardest to tear me down. Rules needed to be created, punishments established. I couldn't allow anyone to take this power from me. Anyone who so much as suggested I had come from the slums, anyone who dared disrespect me, had to be eliminated. All threats exterminated before they could reach me. Somewhere along the line, I had lost sight of my original dream. Lost all my desire to do right by the people I cared about. Hell, I didn't have anyone to do right by anymore. Why did I need to climb to the top of the ladder? So no one could kill me. Why did I want money? So no one could mock me. Why did I want power? So no one could oppose me. 4 years passed, and I found myself in a very, very distant place. Miracle blood. Sounds like a sham to me. You never know. They say the sound of her first cry brought rain to the land where she was born, saving the whole village from drought. And they say her blood has the power to cure any disease. One day, a curious rumor came to my attention. The kind of whispering I wouldn't usually put much stock into. It was said that there was a witch living in a cottage by the lake. Few had ever seen her face, but they claimed she had the same voice as a girl who had supposedly performed miracles several years earlier in a faraway village. The people loved their stories of heroes and miracles, and if I could show some support for the churches, then maybe people would stop complaining I was focusing too much on the economy. So I devised a plot to capture the witch and make use of her miracle blood. I would establish a new church, have it be run by a nun the city had been fawning over for some time. They called her the Saintess. There, I would take the witch's blood and call it a miracle medicine, distributing it in exchange for tithes, which the people would certainly come for in droves. And if the blood somehow did happen to have special powers, then that would make the scheme that much more effective. I'll worry about the veracity of the rumors later. Right now, all I want is for you to capture her and bring her to me. I was too busy to handle capturing the witch myself, so I went and found someone to handle it for me. He was a former slave who had several years back massacred an entire carriage of slaves and the slave traders transporting them. Obviously not an upstanding citizen, but there was little doubt he would have any trouble apprehending a single witch. The biggest reason I chose him, though, was because he was enamored with the nun. I honestly thought it was rather hilarious, a murderer falling in love with a nun. I had been expecting the man to object, but he agreed almost without hesitation. There was a mansion on the outskirts of the city, which the previous lord had built for himself and had gone unused since his death. It was there I decided to keep the witch, and it was there I decided to establish the church. The nun would have ample space there to provide temporary shelter to the sick and needy. I thought, with what little remained of my conscience, that I was doing the right thing. If one witch, probably an old woman at that, was all it cost to accomplish such good, then a worthy sacrifice it was. In an ideal world, it wouldn't matter young or old. A human being was an acceptable price for any... In an ideal world, it wouldn't matter young or old. A human being was an unacceptable price for anything. But this was far from an ideal world. So I decided that taking what little remained of this woman's life was the best, no, the only acceptable course of action. She would probably despise me for it, but I would gladly accept her hatred in exchange for the benefits her blood would bring the city. It's our responsibility to offer a helping hand to the sick and poor, to pray for the abandoned souls. Morgana's words from years back popped into my head. I believe that, as aggressive, self-centered, and utterly lacking in compassion as my methods may have been, I was following that mantra. I was offering a healthy... Jacopo has some sort of speech impediment, my God. I was offering a helping hand to people who needed it in the only way I knew how. I wasn't so dense as to think she would approve of me making an old woman pay the price for my charity, though. Doing this made me no better than a thug. But everything has a price. For every extravagant feast held, a dozen people go the night without food. That's simply the way of the world. I was no god. I was no saint. I had blood on my hands. I was a villain. I knew no way to accomplish good without doing bad. After the swordsman departed, I took some time to myself. I filled a goblet with water, smelled it, then gave a bit then gave a bit of it to my pet dog before gulping down the rest of it. Are you still out there somewhere, Morgana? What would you think of me if you saw what I had become? Several days later than originally planned, the swordsman finally arrived at the mansion. I had chosen the observation tower on the grounds for the witch's prison, and I was there when I waited for him, and it was there I waited for him. He showed up with a burlap sack swung over his shoulder, setting it down on the ground and saying, "There's your witch." I could only hear muffled grunting from inside the sack, but it didn't sound like an old woman inside. The man's clothes and the bag reeked of blood. The man's clothes and the bag both reeked of blood. Tell me you didn't harm her, dog. I smell blood. You only instructed me not to kill her. Mistakes were made, limbs were lost. I cleaned up all the blood I got on me. No one suspected anything. That you were able to immediately recognize it as the smell of blood says quite a bit, Lord. You have killed before, haven't you? Enough yapping. She is alive, yes. Of course. I felt a tinge of guilt for the woman, but it didn't last long. Her role in my scheme and the fate that awaited her was the same regardless of the condition she arrived in. I tossed my gaze from the man to the bag. He crouched down to untie it, revealing a young girl with one arm severed. As soon as I saw her, I knew exactly who the girl was. But why? What was she doing in the bag? Why was she the lakeside witch? What was she doing here? Why was she so pale and shaking? Why had I ordered her captured? How could I have done that? How could I have let this happen to her? Morgana. My voice was hoarse and rattling. She looked up at me, her face just as disfigured and hideous as it had been 4 years before. My mind flashed back to her birthday, to when I had considered offering to take her as my lifetime partner if her face hadn't healed in 4 years' time. If her face hadn't healed? Is that you? Oh. Is that you? Her question yanked me out of my memories. You remember me. Did Morgana remember me? The 3 years we had spent together. What kind of person I had been. The boy who had refused to give up putting ointment on her face. Those horribly unromantic encounters at the graveyard. Her taking shots at me, me taking shots at her. All that time we had shared. How could I ever forget? Morgana, she remembered me. How could I ever forget all the pain and humiliation you put me through? How could I ever forget the blood sabbats you so loved to hold? What? What was she talking about? Haven't had enough, have you? Leaving scars on every inch of my body wasn't enough for you? You haven't had your fill of my blood? No, that wasn't me. I was the one who had tried to heal those wounds. You're the man who bound me, cut me up, called me a witch, and then tried to kill me.
I haven't forgotten you even for a moment.
No, Morgana. I was the man who rescued you from him.
I don't care how much my father preaches forgiveness. That's the one thing you'll never get from me. I despise you with all my soul. I revile you with every fiber of my being. For every scar you gave me, I give you a lifetime of hatred.
No, Morgana. I was not aware you knew the witch, Lord. His voice made my blood run cold. I didn't just know her. Morgana was...
This man, the Lord, he destroyed me, mind and body.
No. That was another man. He was already dead. I had just taken his place. I had come from the slums. I had been part of the slaves' revolt. I knew I had to tell her.
He ruined my life!
But between the sting of Morgana's accusations and my need to protect my current position, I couldn't muster the strength to do it. If someone were to find out I wasn't legitimate royalty, that I had come from the slums, then everything I had worked so hard to build up. To build up for who, though? Would come crumbling down. Do I really think it hasn't already? All I had left was my power, my rank. Is that what I actually wanted? I couldn't afford to lose that too. When did I first start straying from the path? Yes, I know her. Or I knew her years ago. I see. What do you want to do then, Lord? You look sick. This doesn't change anything. We lock the witch up and proceed as planned. Why? Why couldn't I tell her the truth? How? How could I keep her imprisoned? What had I wanted her power for in the first place? Would anyone ever believe me if I said this wasn't how I wanted things to turn out? Would anyone ever believe me? Wow, perfect fade out. Not fade out, the song ends. Huh. Let's see the next line. Okay, maybe Michelle? Probably Michelle. Before me floats a man, twisted and writhing in pain. Although, whether what I'm looking at could be said to resemble a human is a difficult question. It's a hazy, indistinct shape, on the precipice of being consumed by darkness everlasting. I know very well what I'm looking at. The moments before a man's soul shatters. Did I do the same thing to him that Morgana did to me? Was it I who summoned the darkness? Who laid his past bare? Who forced him to relive those events? To to experience once more everything he felt, everything he thought. Who put him through that despair a second time? I can only imagine how he must have felt, causing someone he once cared for so much pain. The things he did are abhorrent, more than deserving of reproach, and it would undoubtedly be easier for him to simply vanish into the eternal abyss. But I can't allow that to happen. He still has work to do. His story is essential. It's almost certain Morgana still doesn't know who he really is. He needs to face her, to reveal the truth with his own words. That's the only way we're going to get her to have a change of heart. That's not all he has to say to her either. So I must bring him back, pull him out of the darkness. I grab the man by the arm and begin scouring the blackness for an exit. After some time, I see a speck glistening high above, so I make my way upwards, back into the harsh light of the real world. The darkness parts, and we re-emerge in the dining hall. The man is still straddling me, dagger held above his head, just as he had been before our trek into his past. His eyes are open wide, and his hand is trembling. A few moments later, his fingers go slack, and the blade slips from his grasp, piercing the wood floor by my face. Hey, what was that? I swear I saw some kind of black cloud or something. What happened to you two? Neither of you saw any of that? Saw what? If you didn't see anything, then don't worry about it. The necklace. That must have been the key to unlocking his memories. Like when I touched the mirror in the mansion. I have no idea why certain objects show me different memories. But I got what I needed, I think. I'm fairly certain the white-haired girl is Morgana now. The things Jacopo did to her and felt for her behind the third door have much in common with him and Morgana in this life. Why did you dig that up? How the hell did you do that? Why did you show me my former self? Why did you make me watch that? Why didn't you tell her? Had you only opened your mouth and told Morgana the truth, told her you weren't the previous lord, told her who you really were, things could have turned out differently. Turned out differently how? Knowing would have only worsened her pain. Yes, you're exactly right. The man who once saved her life is now the source of all her misery. How would knowing that do anything but cause her more despair? The least you could have done then was let her go free. I had already put money into setting up the church here. No. I had already put money into setting up the church here. Her arm had been cut off. There was no turning back. You can't go back from that! You could have. Yes. You could have stopped then and there. Don't act like you know anything. You couldn't possibly comprehend the weight on my shoulders, you dirty peasant. I'll shut. Don't act like you know anything. You couldn't possibly comprehend the weight on my shoulders, you dirty peasant. You're right, I can't, and I'll be damned if I want to. To hell with understanding the feelings of a man who could so easily lose sight of what mattered most for a little power. Money, power, that's not what you really wanted to hold dear. So why couldn't you let go of that? Why did you have to go and let what mattered most slip through your fingers? Had you done anything, it wouldn't have had to come to this. I couldn't have people knowing where I came from. I needed wealth, rank. No, you didn't need any of that. Do you have any idea how much Morgana treasured her time with you and Maria? Do you know how she described that period as one of the brightest chapters of her life? Those 3 years she spent at the brothel until it was attacked. She said that was where she learned to find joy in her life. She said that was where she learned how to find joy in life. Enough. She would never say any of that. Why do you refuse to believe me? She never opened up to anybody. That's all just your fantasy, what you want to see in her. You're trying to convince me of something that was never there. No, I think he's right, Lord. I believe she did feel that way. The day I killed that carriage full of slaves 4 years ago. This girl you're talking about, she was there. What? That can't... And she said this to me before I began my massacre. I'm sad because I didn't get the chance to show my gratitude to people very dear to me. She was crying as she did. So that's who she was talking about. It was you. There's no way. When exactly did the brothel attack 4 years ago take place? It was the winter. I see. Winter 4 years ago is when I met the girl, too. That reminds me. She mentioned something unpleasant happening to her 4 years ago during one of our conversations. That she was forced to part ways with the people who taught her that humans are capable of kindness. She was talking about you. I don't know if that was too dramatic, but I mean, it felt appropriate. I'll try an alternative, why not? Or, I don't know, you decide. I think I like the first one. You know, you just have to gamble. Just go for it. Go big or go home. Ugh. the better directorial note is to reduce your performance than to make it bigger. Just start big so you can only reduce it. There is still time. You can still set Morgana free. You can still reveal your true self to her. She was likely in shock that day, not seeing or thinking straight. She still thinks you're someone else. Hearing you are the Lord, it set something off inside her, preventing her from seeing who you really were. Her time in the previous Lord's captivity left scars even deeper than she knew. So all it took was that one word, and in her eyes, you became him. Which isn't to say you haven't caused her much pain yourself, but I still believe your truth is key to allaying her hatred. It will change her perception of the world. I'm certain of it. So please, release Morgana and spill your heart for her. I was planning to end it all with the Harvest Festival. What? I was already planning to set her free then. I knew damn well it was much too little, much too late, but I needed an excuse to face her, some occasion to give me that last nudge. So I told myself, that's going to be the day. That's when I'm going to do it. But you had to show up out of nowhere, digging up my past, throwing all my plans out the window. You still think I'm the reason your carefully laid plans fell apart? I'll let her go during the Harvest Festival. Tomorrow she goes free. Tomorrow is too late. What difference does it make? When the bell tolls noon on the day of the Harvest Festival, Morgana dies. I've had more than enough of your so-called prophecies. I'm done. Why do you still refuse to believe me? I'm not making anything up. I'm from the future. I know how it ends. Having an occasion and a plan can certainly make it easier to take action. But you can't just wait for the right occasion for everything. Man, that reflects him wanting to choose the right time to tell her, to confess his feelings. You know, it can't be now. I have to wait until I'm prepared. Oh, fuck. You know, sometimes I'm reminded. Well, have a look at this. I've got 235 goddamn hours on this here game. Most of that, the vast majority of that has been for quote-unquote work purposes, for this playthrough and for transcribing the scripts for my actors, for the fan dub. So, you know, be in those weeds long enough and, you know, something you loved can oh, sorry, water, I need water. Something you love can start to feel a bit like work. And that 200 some odd hours, that doesn't include my first ever playthrough of the game where I took my sweet time because I was on PlayStation. So this sometimes you're just reminded. A theme connects, you see, a moment hits you. It's nice. It reminds me that this is still my favorite narrative of all time, and no amount of poring over it in clinical detail, you know, soullessly transcribing the words, the text that once magically lifted me off of my seat and made me feel like I was falling through the floor. You know, now it's just words on a page to be read and typed. But no, No, it's still more than that. It's always gonna be more than that. That's why I'm doing this in the first place. It's because I fucking love this story to death. And I'm just glad that that seems like that's never gonna change. Sometimes, if you don't act on something as soon as you've decided to do it, you'll miss your chance. In your next life, you make the same mistakes. You lock someone up that you care about, eventually causing her to break down entirely. And you're so fixated on waiting for the right occasion, you completely destroy any chance of salvaging anything. If you're set on releasing her, then release her. Jacopo! Stop being so damn fixated on your occasions already! Enough! Damn you. You're right. You don't have to tell me I'm being a fool. I'll do it. Right now, I'll do it. I'll release her. Thank you for making up your mind. I didn't make the lock require 3 keys because the weight was too much to bear alone. It was because having others with me would force me to keep up the Lord facade to prevent me from letting anything slip. Or maybe I was just waiting, hoping someone would betray me, make me pay. Pathetic, I know. You can have the necklace. It belongs to you. Though I doubt Morgana will accept it, I hope you'll still attempt to give it to her yourself. Will you do that? Where did you get that anyway? From Maria. I thought she would have thrown it out by now. I assume she doesn't think very highly of me. Be honest with me. She was planning to kill you. Ah. Maybe that would have been for the best. To her, I'm nothing but a power-hungry traitor. The necklace. I'll take it. Here you are. When he takes the necklace, Jacopo looks as though he's on the verge of tears. Whether from the pressure of not wanting to lose face, or simply because he's no longer able to, he doesn't actually shed any, though. The other two just stand and watch him quietly. Neither of them saw the vision of his past, and they don't pry either. Our exchange was probably sufficient. Our exchange was probably sufficient to give them an idea of what happened, even if they don't know the details. Clutching the necklace in one hand, Jacopo takes up the head of the procession to the observation tower. And while it lasts but for a brief moment, I see an image of the young man he used to be and his slightly slouched shoulders. They each insert their individual keys, the lock disengaging and the door giving a deep groan as it swings open. Beyond it, a spiral staircase extends high into the sky. Every time I've climbed these stairs, it's always been a solemn affair, and now is no different. I've succeeded though. I've got them all here, ready to set her free before she's supposed to die. I have changed the past. Giselle. Can you hear me, Giselle? I made it in time. Now Morgana doesn't have to die tomorrow. I did it. Giselle.
With me.
Oh, wait, hold on. Is it a...
With me. Come on.
Do you guys hear talking behind the door? I forget if this is that or that's later. I don't remember. Is there someone else in there with her? Okay, so it's not her voice. There couldn't be. It's only Morgana.
Stay with me, please. Come on. You can't give up now. Oh, be quiet. As if you have any idea what I'm going through. Of course I do.
No. Standing before the door at the top of the stairs, a chill runs down my spine. Before I have time to consider what might have caused it, my body moves on its own. I shove my way past the other men and push open the door.
I know. I'll come up with something pleasant to take your mind off things. I'll come up with a story. A story. How about this? A dove flies in through the window up above, a piece of parchment tied to its leg. It's a letter from the prince of a neighboring land. You read it, and then you write a response. You read it. You read it, and then you write a response. I don't respond. After exchanging letters back and forth for some time, the prince comes to find you. I'm not going to fall for your stupid fantasies. Holding on to something, even a fantasy, is better than believing in nothing at all. I don't want you to give up hope. But baseless hope only breeds despair. Not that you would know that. Besides, if anyone's going to come for me, I don't want it to be a prince. There's only one person I want to see.
We're all stunned to silence at the scene unfolding beyond the door. Morgana is having a conversation with herself. This does answer the question of who the white-haired girl is and where she came from. Don't worry, for the fan dub, I'll make sure to distinguish those two voices. Luckily, Because I'm shrewd and intelligent, I cast the same actor as both Morgana and white-haired girl, and she is fucking excellent. But I can't. This is just... No one should have to go through this. Her mind has split into two.
Oh, Morgana, it looks like you have visitors. They're here to take my blood, or they've got no use for me anymore, and are here to kill me. Oh, don't be so negative. Look, there's someone new. Kill me. Just set me free already. Morgana, you know what my wish is. Kill me and curse. Put a curse on them. Come on, Morgana. Look up at them. Your letters, they made it. I never wrote any letters. He's got long hair as white as snow and eyes like rubies. He's beautiful, like an angel descended from heaven. An angel.
Morgana. I've come for you, Morgana. Come to set you free. Would you please undo her shackles, Jacopo? As you say. Morgana.
Angel.
Can you hear me, Morgana? At long last, I have the chance to hold you while you're still alive. I'm here to get you out of this tower. You have nothing to worry about anymore. You can go outside again, see the sun. You can go back to your old life.
Angel.
Morgana.
Angel.
No one's going to hurt you anymore, Morgana. And the three of them by the door, none of them had any malice for you.
Angel.
You're free. You can go free again.
Angel.
You can have a normal life. No one is going to take any more blood. No one is going to take any more of your blood.
Angel.
Please, Morgana. Please stay with me. Don't you want to leave this place? I'm going to set you free. I'll take you back to your cottage by the lake. I'll get you medicine. I'll help you with anything you need. If you want to go somewhere far away, I'll take you there. I'm begging you.
I waited so long for this moment.
Morgana.
I've been waiting so long for God to send an angel. Are you an angel? Are you an angel sent to deliver me from this place? Please, deliver me unto my Father's presence. I can't go back out there. I can't live in the mortal realm any longer. I don't want to. There's only one place I wish to go. Oh, holy servant of the Lord. You are an angel, aren't you?
Morgana.
Please, deliver me from this place.
Yes, that's right. I am. For now, yes, I will be. I am the Archangel I am the Archangel Michael, sent to deliver your soul unto God the Father. Your angel. I have descended from heaven above.
That's wonderful.
Morgana,
His father, is he proud of me?
your Father, the Lord Almighty, is exceedingly proud of the great work you have done in his name.
Thank you. It means so much to me to hear that. I couldn't be happier to be able to return with you to see him.
Morgana. Morgana! Morgana! Her body goes limp in my arms as the last of her life slips away. There should have been more than enough time to spare. But still I failed to save her life. At the very least. I hope I was able to provide her some comfort in her final moments. I'm allowed to think that, aren't I? We were too late. But why? Wasn't she not supposed to die until... That's what you said, isn't it? That was how it was supposed to happen, right? So how come we still didn't make it? Why didn't you do anything? Why did you just let her wither away like this? Why? Answer me! I have no answer for you. I had no idea she had deteriorated so badly. Weren't you feeding her, motherfucker? We should take her outside. Then you can atone for your sins. But first, we need to take her body somewhere clean. Death does not mean you are free of pain. We need to ensure her soul can depart in peace. You won't see me objecting. You need to say now what you are going to say to her. What you were going to say to her. You must let her know the truth. She's dead. What good will it do to reveal my feelings now? Are you really that dense? Of course it will do good. Her physical body may be dead, but her soul is still here, watching everything. Listening to every word you say. I don't believe in souls. Well, I'm begging you to change your mind. Let Morgana hear what you have to say. Don't let her soul seethe in hatred. Please. I'm begging you. Okay. Morgana, I am not the Lord you knew. The man who put you through that hell, I killed him. I'm the man. who freed you from his grasp. I'm the man who spent the next 3 years with you. We were poor, and food was scarce, let alone good food. But those were happy times. Just about every day, I'd come to rub ointment on your face. I'd tell you to look at me, and you'd reluctantly turn my way. I used to think a lot about the face you'd make when you finally gave in. And then there was Maria. I could only imagine how obnoxious you thought the two of us were when we were in the same room together. You sitting off alone while me and Maria go at it, not making a peep, me always trying to sneak glances at you. There's so much I never managed to tell you, but I hate myself for being too weak to put any of it into words. I could apologize, but I doubt you'd forgive me. And I don't want you to either. Just want you to know that this isn't how I wanted things to turn out. What I wanted more than anything was to show you the world. But instead, all I managed to show you was the inside of a cold, dark tower. Not the beautiful, unimaginably wide world outside these walls, but a tiny, filthy corner of it. I did this to you. I took everything from you, when I should have given you everything. However much you hate me, I deserve every last bit of it and more. I was ready to pay with my life, if that's what you wanted. I was ready to do absolutely anything. This wasn't how I wanted things to turn out. I waited too long to bring myself to take action. Morgana, the man there, he told me you said the 3 years you were with me and Maria were the brightest days of your life. Well, they were for me too. I loved you. That's everything. Did any of what he just said make it through to you, Morgana? I pray with all my heart that him opening up will have even the tiniest effect on how you feel. Morgana, I also want to apologize for everything I did to hurt you. I feel terrible about it, I really do. And yeah, I know that's not enough to make up for what I've done. So I want to make amends, whatever it takes. If you want me to give you my life now, I will. Or if you want me to spend the rest of my days paying for my sins, I can do that too. I am an irredeemable monster and a killer. I take pleasure in hurting people. You were right to be afraid of me. I am genuinely sorry for what I did to you, though. I never wanted to see you dead. Sorry. I can't come up with anything better to say. Let's bring her outside. Would you carry her body, please? You should be the one to carry her. You're far better suited to the job. My right arm is in no condition to be picking anything up. I'll help you lift her then. You said it was my words she needed to hear most, but ultimately, it was you who saved her. And me, who made that necessary. She wanted to be delivered to God by the hands of an angel, so the angel here should carry her. I can't. It wouldn't be right. Please, would you do it for her? Very well. Jacopo puts the necklace around Morgana's neck, then lifts her dead body off the ground and places her in my arms. He opens the door, heading the four-man procession out of the tower as he heads in. I walk at the back of the line. Each step they take down the spiral staircase is slow and ponderous, as if weighted down by the knowledge of their sins, that they must make their way to the place they will make their atonement. I wasn't able to prevent Morgana's death, but I was able to uncover the truth. I accomplished something. The sum of everything I did these 3 days should be enough to change her heart and change the course of their next lives. They should be able to avoid the tragedies I witnessed through each of their doors. When we step through this door and people see Morgana's body, we'll be made to pay for our sins. Ultimately, I'm the one responsible, so the two of you are welcome to stay behind. I'm coming with you. The girl died because of the things I did. I can't just pretend it didn't have anything to do with me. No, I don't want to. I never had any intention of fleeing. You may have been the one running the operation, but I did just as many terrible things as you. Well then. Say, Michelle? Yes. I figure this is probably my last chance to say it, so thank you for convincing me to hand over my key. For giving me the courage to open my eyes. You always had the courage within you, Mel. You simply needed a little help finding it. It wasn't my strength that allowed you to take action, but your own. It wasn't my strength that allowed you to take action, but your own. You sure know how to make someone feel better about themselves. I'd like to be a little stronger next time around, if there really is a next life. I'd like to be strong enough to face whatever comes my way, to not run away or try to ignore it. I have no doubt you will be. The trials you're made to face are great, and very few of them of your own making. Yours is a tragedy of circumstance, of feelings kept secret and good intentions gone wrong. If you can face the problem when it arises rather than look away, I'm certain you can find your way to a better future. You mean in my next life? I do. I'll trust you know what you're talking about then, and burn your advice into my soul. Don't look away. Please do. I'm glad to have met you. If there is a next life, I'd like it if we could be friends. Just so you know, you'll never convince me to go on walks around a lake or take naps out in the sun. What? Well, that makes you sound like a very gloomy, unpleasant person to be around. Just joking. Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, you kept telling me you weren't an angel. But you actually are, aren't you? I promise you I am a regular man. You told Morgana you were an angel. Angels and demons don't get along very well, so I'd rather not run into you in my next life. I appreciate what you did here, though. I'll do my best to be more human next time.
Please do.
If I repeat to myself what you told me, that what I need most is restraint as I make my departure from this world, then maybe I won't forget it, even if I do lose my memories. Burn it into my soul. I rather like that. I think I'll follow the boy's lead there.
That would be best. And I'll be praying that even if you aren't capable of love, you'll be able to live a peaceful life with a good woman who loves you. That you'll be able to make her happy by doing so.
I still think she'd be better off never knowing me.
Whether you want her to or not, she's almost certainly going to meet you and fall in love with you.
You know, now that I think about it, she's not as normal as I first thought. She's a peculiar woman.
I can't say I disagree.
Well, I guess this is goodbye then.
That it is. I know everyone else is doing it, but I've got nothing to say to you. I didn't expect you would. Though I suppose I do have something I'd like to say to you. And what might that be? Be more open with yourself. If you had only put your feelings into words, things would have turned out differently, in both this life and your next. Coming from you, a man who looks even more closed off than me, that rubs me very much the wrong way. Do I really look that closed off? In more ways than one, yeah. That part of me is deeply ingrained. You telling me to open up won't magically disentangle my personality and make it be. Wow, I thought I would fuck up that sentence because I was not reading the words ahead of it, but I managed to do it. You telling me to open up won't magically disentangle my personality and make it be. Yes, good. I don't think you're as twisted as you believe you are. I'll consider it if this next life nonsense you're selling me is true. Please do. Lord have mercy, one hell of a man certainly busted his way into my life. The last thing I expected was for an outsider to be the one to get us The last thing I expected was for an outsider to be the one to get us to open that door. Impressive work for one man. It was not only my doing. I had help from a number of people. And it was you, Giselle, who did the most in getting me here. I'm not as big a man as the three of you make me out to be. Before this, I'd lost so much. I felt utterly powerless. I was on the verge of abandoning all hope. But having the opportunity to meet all of you, to spend time with you and the people around you, it did a great deal to revitalize my spirit, despite the atrocities involved. So I thank you. I pray your next lives may turn out better. suppose we should get going then. Off to pay for our crimes. To relieve her soul of some of its pain. And I suppose to make sure their next lives go a little better. Let's. He places a hand on the large door, then takes a step forward. The door lets out a heavy groan, and moonlight slips through the widening crack. It's all over now. I did it. I changed the past.